Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Chisme Chronicles podcast.
Episode 39, 38.
We literally just went over this. Kaylee thought it was episode 40. And I was like, no, it's not episode 30. I was like, how'd you thought? We had a whole little discussion about it. She just opened her phone.
I just did episode 38, everybody.
Just double checked it. Well, welcome back. Episode 39.
38.
Like I said. Episode.
Who's keeping count here? Me. I'm right.
Yeah. Whoever's counting is like nobody else knows. They're just tuning in. You can say whatever you want. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Episode 127.
Yeah, dude, we should just do that like from now on.
Random.
Like episode 425. You know.
Yeah.
Anyways, if this is your first time here, my name is Roman, and I'm here with Kaylee the Bandit, the co-host of the show. And what?
Nothing. You. You threw me off my script.
Oh my! We're here with Kaylee the Bandit.
Call back to our earlier episodes.
And people are probably like, okay, we know. Yo, it's early. It's early. We haven't filmed in a minute.
Yeah, it's been about a couple days.
Been about a minute. And Kitty's all. Tell them what we do on the show, Kaylee.
Yeah, so on this podcast, we do a lot of Am I the A-hole Reddit content. We also sometimes venture onto other subreddits like Today Effed Up or Petty Revenge, a couple other ones that we find here and there. First and foremost, we bring you the best stories from Reddit and top 2 reactions on YouTube.
The #1 Reddit show for all your Reddit content. Chisme Chronicles podcast, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We don't have a time, just whenever we drop it.
Yeah. So yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday we always post 4 stories. We always blind react to each other's stories. So
sometimes we have long intros, sometimes we have short intros. Today we're gonna go with a short intro.
Sometimes we're funny, sometimes we're not funny.
Sometimes but you're here for the stories, not for us. Not for what we can do or provide. We're gonna rock and roll. Today we're doing 4 stories. Like we always do. We're doing them from Am I the A-hole? I'm going to kick it off like I always do. Am I the A-hole for asking my boyfriend to send me the appraised price for the vase his son broke when I got it for much cheaper? So I, 23 female, am an avid shopper and love to get things at estate sales in my area. I buy all my designer goods, most vintage, so it's amazing quality, from them, and they're a hidden gem since barely any people even go to them in my area. So I've been able to find amazing things. I bought so much jewelry, clothes, furniture from estate sales that I later get appraised for thousands while I spent $300 on it max. I've been able to find amazing things for a cheap price. I love to decorate my condo with things I buy and make sure all my extremely expensive things are kept safe in a storage unit. Once I buy a house in the next upcoming years is when I will bring them out. I went to an estate sale this summer and bought mostly clothes and also a beautiful vase. I bought it for $40 and it didn't look expensive to me, but another collector friend of mine saw it in the background of one of my stories and asked me where I got it from and said it looked like a vintage vase he's been looking for. I went and got it appraised and come to find out it's worth $3,500. I made sure to get its authentication as well. I did leave it in my bookcase and decided to keep it as decoration, even though I typically put expensive furniture and decor in my storage unit. This week, my boyfriend, 30 male, came over and unexpectedly brought his 10-year-old son. He lives in New York with his mom and he has him during the summer, but he came back to stay with my boyfriend for a bit since his mom just had a baby that was in the NICU. I didn't mind since his son is nice and has never damaged anything of mine. When his dad and I were cooking in the kitchen, he was watching TV in my living room. All of a sudden I hear a crash and we run into my living room to see my new vase shattered. His son started crying, saying he wanted to see a book I had on my bookshelf, and saw the vase and thought it looked cool and touched it and it fell. His dad reassured him and saying it's okay, he'll replace it, and to make sure he's not hurt. I was upset, but said it was okay and kept my composure. Later, I spoke to him when he came over alone, and we agreed he's to pay me back. He asked me how much it was, and I said it's worth $3,500. He raised an eyebrow and asked how much I paid, since he knows I always find things at the sales, and I was honest and said $40. He told me he would pay me the $40, and I said absolutely not. Just because the woman that sold it to me didn't know its true price doesn't mean I don't, and if I ever sold it, I would charge its appraised worth. So he needs to pay me back the appraised price. He's not hurting for money. He makes $100K a year. I make $200K. So I'm not asking him as if I don't have money. It's the principle. Since his son broke it, he should pay the appraised price. He sent me the money, but was upset, saying I'm an asshole since I got it for so much cheaper. Emma Diego.
So, no, obviously for like asking what it's worth or whatever, right? Maybe a little bit of a hot take. Obviously, like, he needs to send her whatever it's worth or whatever, right? But I feel like I could understand being a little bit butthurt that she didn't like not that she has to at all. She doesn't have to budge. But just because of like the situation and whatever, and like obviously they're in a relationship, it was an accident, blah blah blah. I feel like I could understand him being a little bit butthurt and not just being like, give me $2,000 for it. It's worth $3,500. Give me $2,000 or $3,000 or something. Like, not that she has to do that, and he shouldn't, he shouldn't say anything if she doesn't. But I feel like I could understand being a little bit butthurt about that.
The guy being butthurt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For not like coming to like a deal because of the situation, because you're not selling it. You know what I mean? Like, it was an accident that happened. This is your boyfriend that you care about and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It feels like if I was gonna sell it to like a family member or something, it's like you know what, it's worth $3,500, but this and this and this, and I'll give it to you for $3,000.
I think even if she said $3,000, he was still gonna be like,
for sure,
about the,
yeah.
Cause it's like you buy a classic car, you buy it for $2,000. Off of some old guy that just wants to get rid of it and whatever. You buy it for $2,000, and now but it's that that condition is worth $8,000. And somebody wrecks it, or like you're gonna fix it up and somebody backed into it and totaled it or something. Yeah, whatever. Like, well, of course I don't want the $2,000. I want the $8,000. Yeah, yeah. That's why I bought it. I made an investment. It's worth more. Yeah, granted, she didn't know that it was going to be worth that much more. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Like, she goes out and she finds cool things, and I think I would also want, like,
for sure,
the value of the vase,
for sure,
or vase.
But I do think it makes a difference that she didn't buy it as an investment. That being said, she's still, to be clear, she still is owed whatever it's worth. But I think it makes a difference that she didn't buy it like to flip it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with she's not. I don't think she's the a-hole. I don't think she's the a-hole for wanting what it's worth. Is it reasonable to get a little to give a discount? Yeah, I don't see that.
Like, trying to negotiate.
Yeah, I don't.
But also, he's the a-hole because he's so, like, if he was going to try and, like, negotiate, which he shouldn't, but he's so far off. It's like, I'm just going to give you the $40. Like, that is that is like a dinner. You know what I mean? At like a nicer, whatever, medium place.
Yeah,
not even, like, nice.
Well, I mean, obviously, I think she said that he paid, right? He paid the full amount.
Which he, good.
And also, she's like, oh, I mean, I agree that, like, I can't remember what she said exactly, but, like, supposedly he makes $800,000, or he makes $800K, she makes $200.
Yeah, come on.
But whether, like, if you do a review, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that I also, I know what I was trying to say. My brain was going in different directions. What I was trying to say is that even if I was making, $200,000, and something, let's just say if the vase was $1,000, I would still want someone to pay me. Like, exactly. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I have money, that I have enough money where
it's the principle.
I don't really, like, need the $1,000, but, like, it's totally like the principle of you your kid made a mistake, so pay me what it's worth. Yeah.
Also, he makes $800,000 a year. That is like $40 that he's wanting to give her is like 2 cents.
Yeah.
You know, to him,
Yeah,
comparative to like the median.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, but I was gonna say that, like, I know people.
yeah.
I've met people that are very, very, very well off, and they would have done the exact same thing.
And they suck.
They would have done the exact same thing.
They are
But
the
at
problem.
But at the same time, is that why they're where they are?
Yeah, but it
You know what I
pisses me
mean?
off because that's like the comparison between like the rich friends and then like everybody else. It's like okay, because like I've had friends that like didn't have a lot of money and stuff, and like we always like pay for. I think I've said this before, but we always pay for each other's. I got us coffee this time, you get us coffee next time, and it's like I'm not like we're not worried about like, oh, like last time you got a medium and this time you got a large, because like it always evens out. We're not gonna be sending the same freaking $40 to each other back and forth. I got dinner this time, you get it next time. If it's somewhere nicer, we just eat ourselves. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But like if we're going to like Chick-fil-A, it's like, sure, I got it this time, you got it next time. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But it's always like the friends with a little bit more money that are like, hey, can you send me the whatever, like $4.13 for this? And it's like, Sure, I'll send you the $4.13, but this is a little bit ridiculous. I feel like
I'm probably that guy though.
Dude, it drives me crazy.
I just, in my mind, it's like I don't. In my mind, things have to be like equal. Like things have to be like things have to be like balanced. You know, in my mind it has to be balanced. So if like we went somewhere, and my friend's like, no, this, and I'm like, no, dude, like I owe you like $7. You know, like I need to give that to you because like no, I don't. In my brain, my brain doesn't like that. It's like I need to, so that we're like balanced. You know.
Sure.
In the same way, if it happens to me, I'm like, yo, you need to send me those $8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not in every case. I also just want to say,
yeah,
not in every case. Like many cases, I'm like, bro, dude, I got it. Like, I don't care. It's fine. But sometimes my brain, depending on how I'm feeling that day, or maybe it's more specific to who that person is versus like a really close friend. You know what I mean?
If you're not hanging out with them a ton, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, if I'm not going to see you for another 2 months, like I'm not going to remember who owes who $8.
Yeah.
Send me the $8.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm talking about people you're seeing on a regular basis. And also, to be fair, like I understand the evenness thing because like I never do it for like other people, but I always have a running tally in my head. If it's like, I know that they paid for something twice in a row. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like they paid for something twice in a row. It was like $15. Like I really owe them lunch now, even though it was 2 coffees or whatever. It's like, okay, now I owe you lunch. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
So it still feels even, but I'm not like counting pennies. You know what I mean? Because also the rich friends are always the one that it's like, if you pick up the tab, like for example, like a dinner, and it's like the item on the menu was $20.99. They're going to send you $20.99 for the dinner. And it's like no taxes, no tip, no nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't know. No. Well, I mean, at least haven't had.
Or $30 or $31.
No,
see,
like,
so, all right,
so you're saying like
you.
the rich friends or people, friends of yours that may have like, you know, that can.
Had more money.
That have more money or whatever. That hasn't been my experience though.
That has been mine.
I feel like that's been my experience with just regular people. With just like regular, at least my friends, the friends that I know that are like that got money, I haven't had that experience.
I feel like I've had like a couple friends with like my level income or like a little bit lower or whatever, and they always like and here's for the tip, because like they've usually been like waitresses and stuff like that, so it's like they know how important that is.
Or some people are just like more aware of situations like that. Like people are, and so by the way, that's like those are the things that I hate, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
like those are the things that I hate.
It drives me crazy,
dude. A long time.
It's like you can't say anything because you can't be like, can you send me another $2, please? You know what I mean? Like, because then, dude. So dude, you just reminded me of this one time. So every year we used to go to this camp, like a family camp, and but as we got older, then our friends, me and a group of friends and myself, we'd get our own cabin, right? And it's like, okay, there's like 6 of us going, so it's gonna be like $27.50 a person or like $22.50 a person, right? And I was gonna pay, and like I had registered for it or whatever. So I told everybody, like, I send me $22.50, right? And then so I'm like 20 years old. You know, I'm picking up my pennies. If I see a penny, I see a dime. Like I'm like, I don't have any money. Yeah.
I'm in college. Like I'm barely making it.
Yeah.
And And like, I remember all my friends, like they sent me $22. And I'm like, yo, so now I got to pay. So 5 of you guys didn't send me the 50 cents. So that now that's 22. That's 250. So all of you guys paid $22. Now I got to pay $24.50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, why do I have to pay $24.50?
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much 100. It was partially the $250.
Yeah.
And also like, why am I paying the $24.50?
Yeah.
Why are you guys paying $24? Like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
I said $22.50. Everybody, I could have just said send me $23. And then I would have paid, $19.50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could have just said, send me 23. No, I said, send me $22.50.
Yeah.
And then and then I'm like, dude, I'm like, so now I got to pay an extra $2.50. That's back in the day, that's a hot and spicy and a large Coke. You can't get that anymore. You can't get that for $2.50 anymore.
On the dollar menu at McDonald's?
Not anymore.
I don't know.
Hot and spicy is $2 now.
No way.
Yeah, and a Coke used to be $1. Now a Coke is $1.50. Now you're at $3.50 plus tax. Damn. You gotta think about these things, Katie.
I haven't been to McDonald's in a long time.
Yeah, dude. So,
but that's the price of being the friend that puts the credit card down, which is so awful because it shouldn't be that. But that's exactly what I'm saying about like going to dinner and stuff. It's like all right, everybody send me, sure, I'll put the credit card down. Everybody send me the money for the food. That way we don't have to split it 14 ways.
Yeah,
and then you get stiffed. Everybody sends you menu prices.
Dude, I recently, it's so funny. I recently had an experience where I had to chase $10 for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Gosh. So we went to the lake. We went to the lake, and so I have a boat, and so a lot of times, like, we're like, hey, if people want to go to the lake, or if like family members or friends were like, oh, let's all go to the lake. Well, I'll pitch in for gas, blah blah. It's really expensive to take the boat out to the lake. The truck wastes a lot of gas because it's pulling a freaking boat, and then the boat wastes a lot of gas. So like, cool, $10 a person, and then there was like 9 people, and then there was like me and my family. So like, all right, that barely covers it. Like, that barely covers like the expenses. So like 8 people sent it, and then like there was a mix up with who invited who and blah 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 blah. And like, I'm like, yo, like, start hitting up the person like, yo, can you, what, I don't know the other person, I know I this is the third time I've ever met them. So I didn't even have their number to reach out. So I'm like, yo, can you guys collect the $10? Like, what's up? And like, I had to chase it for like, and I was like sending memes like pay me my money, and like just sending funny stuff. Like, it wasn't like aggressive. It was like in fun and everything, But dude, I was like, I'm not. Shit is way too expensive, and like I am, and this is like 1,000% the principle of it. Yeah. Like, why am I gonna pay? Because everyone that came, everyone paid. Yeah. And it's not fair for everyone else that pitch in. It's not fair to them if that person doesn't pay. Yeah. And it's also not fair to me. Or I'm like, fine, I'm not, whoever's not, if you guys are going to say you're going to pitch in, and then like, I'm making all this effort to take everybody so we can all go and have fun, and then you're not going to pay, then I'm just not going to invite you anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're doing all the work. Like, I've been with you guys out on the boat, and it's so much labor to get the freaking boat out on the water. Dude, to freaking set up the shade, boom, 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 get everything ready. You gotta wash everything down. Wash everything down, and like, some people help and some people don't help. Yeah. But the people that help you always want to invite them again. Yeah. But anyway.
I do have 2 banger stories for today. So.
Damn. Okay.
All right. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend after she rejected my proposal twice? Sierra and I have been dating for 4 years. I absolutely love her and felt like she was my soulmate. I knew I wanted to propose 2 years into dating, but decided to wait 1 more year so that I could get in a better situation financially. Last year, I proposed. It was a private proposal on a beach where we went on our first date. She looked at me and she said, I want to marry you, but not right now. She said she wasn't in the right place personally to get engaged and to give her some time. That stung, but I was okay with it. After all, I put off proposing so that I could be in a good position. It's only fair that I give her the chance. It's been a year since then, and I decided to propose again. This time, I asked our friends to help me set it up because I wanted to do something nicer. We orchestrated a dinner and a proposal in front of a nice fountain in the city's botanical garden. Everything was ready. Dinner was great, and we went to the fountain. She saw the roses and everything, and then I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. She teared up and she told me, not just yet. This stung really bad. I knew I wanted her in my life forever, but this is the second time she turned me down. I asked her why, and she told me the same thing as last year. I asked her if something was holding her back, maybe family or friends, and she just said, I want to make sure that it will work. This hurt more than the 2 rejections. I told her if after 4 years she isn't sure, then what the hell will make her sure? She asked me to give her time, and I told her no. I told her I'm not going to keep wasting time and love if she's going to keep saying no. I told her I can't do this anymore. She began begging me not to leave and said, fine, I'll marry you. Just please don't go. That made me mad, but I didn't say anything. I left. My phone has been blowing up with some of our friends, her parents, and her telling me that I'm an a-hole for throwing away a 4-year relationship because she said no. And that I was being a big baby. She just needs some time. The other half of our friends aren't on my side, but they're not on hers either. I don't know if I'm the a-hole for doing this. Did I overreact? Am I the a-hole? If so, how much time am I supposed to give her? And then clarifies they are both 29 years old, and the second proposal wasn't done in front of friends. They just helped set it up, and that they had discussed marriage shortly before the first time he proposed, and that she was into it, but she didn't seem like super eager. She was even into it and told me she couldn't see herself with anyone else. She seemed eager about the idea of marriage, which is why I was shocked the first time and then angry the second time.
Yeah. So 1,000% at the a-hole.
Yeah.
Anyone that says that he is a complete idiot and a jackass, because it has nothing to do with what anybody there thinks.
Yeah.
It has to do with him ready to do it, and if she's not, and he's not willing to wait anymore, he's ready to move on.
Not the a-hole, but a little bit an idiot, I would say.
No.
How do you wait until you're on, until you've gotten up? No. Not for the 2 proposals. Not for the 2 proposals. Not for that. How do you wait until you've gotten up from your knees from the second proposal to then be like, what's holding you back? Why wouldn't you do that after the first one? Why wouldn't you have a more like in-depth conversation after the first one?
Well, we don't know if they did, how much of a conversation they did, because like maybe there's not enough to like write all of that out. But like if she's like, hey, I'm not ready to because of this, that, and the other, and he's like, okay, all right, she's not ready yet.
Yeah, but it just the way he writes it, like it's like then I like whatever. Basically, he got up from his knees and it's like, what's holding you back? It's like, why is this the first time you're asking this question?
Yeah, I feel like I feel pretty confident in if that was me, we would have had multiple conversations after the first failed proposal.
That's what I'm okay. So I'm hoping.
Like, yeah,
that he also did.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like, I feel like that's what anyone would do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any guy that proposes and then the girl says no is just going to kind of like, no, because because of this, that, and the other. And he's okay. And then he's like never going to talk about it and bring it up for an entire year.
The way that he wrote it to me, and it just came off like, and maybe you're wrong, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, like maybe you're like providing a new
I think what you're trying to say is maybe you're right.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But what I mean is that the way that he wrote it to me comes off like it was like they had one like they went home that night, and then he's like, what's going on, whatever, like a nice little conversation about it, and then she's like, I'm just not ready yet, and he's like, okay, fair. You know what I mean? Like she'll be ready later. And then they didn't talk about it again. That's the way it comes off to me. It's like, I'm just not ready yet. I want to be in a better space. And he's like, oh, totally fair. Okay, cool. We'll never talk about this again until I propose again.
Yeah. I feel like you're crazy.
That's just the way it wrote.
Yeah, you always go so hard. Like
maybe.
No, and I'm not saying, I mean, maybe you're right this whole time. I
have no idea.
And I'm the crazy one.
He didn't clarify either.
But I don't think I don't think he's the a-hole at all. Like,
no. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for that guy.
Like she said, or like he said, after 4 years. Like, we've been together for 4 years.
And they're 29. Because that also was a big point to me. Because I'm like, what if they're 22? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, a lot of people get married at 22. But I feel like then it's understandable to be like, I'm just not ready. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 22 years old. Like, my brain isn't fully developed. I'm just not ready.
I'm just a 22-year-old teenage girl.
You know what I mean? But But it's like they're 29 years old. You know what I mean? And it's like you could have a year-long proposal or something if you want to get married at 30. Like what? Like
Yeah, I mean, if they've been together for 4 years, he already proposed twice. Like
Yeah.
she just keeps saying no. Something's off. Something's off.
she's not sure about him.
Yeah, she's not
Which
sure about him.
She's the a-hole because like I don't know, like that's like so scary. Is like being with somebody that's just like passing time with you, and you're like getting fully invested and committed. It's like damn.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone reaching out to him saying that he's dumb for like blah 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 blah. I'm like, you guys are an idiot.
they suck.
Like yeah, those people suck.
This
dude.
guy's going through it hard enough. Like he just got rejected hardcore, and then for her to be like, fine, sure, I'll marry you. That would somebody take me out right now.
Oh no! Oh, it's like okay, I was begging you. Oh, so how did he propose? Well, he begged.
Dude, somebody take me out with a sniper right now. Earth swallow me whole this moment. I would die.
Oh, now you want to marry me? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Fine, sure. Nope.
Yeah, dude. You would just feel like she felt sorry for you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, dude. I think if that happened to me, it's like such a crazy thing. To he's basically he's not gonna feel loved or wanted at all.
Yeah. Poor
So
babe.
it's like I'm done. I can't be in this relationship
I
anymore.
hope he recovers. That's so sad.
Sheesh. All right.
This was only 70 days ago, by the way, so it's like so fresh.
Damn.
Like, oh, I'm just so bad for that guy. Okay.
That's rough. All right, here we go. Story number 3. This one sucks, dude. Sad. Okay, am I the a-hole for kicking out my son because he is an adult and he needs to leave the nest? I, 46 male, have 3 biological children. 27 male, 19 male, and 10 female. My 2 sons I had with my first wife, who passed, and my daughter is with my second wife, 39 female. I also have a stepdaughter, 14 female. I currently live with my wife, stepdaughter, daughter, and younger son. Our house is technically 4 bedrooms, but the small box room we converted into a study room. That leaves 3 decently sized bedrooms. Here's the dilemma. We both agree my stepdaughter should have her own privacy from my daughter, given the age difference, but we do not have another room. My oldest son moved out at 18 with encouragement from me and his stepmother. He had a part-time job from 15 and rented a flat. He excelled in school and university and now has a well-paid job in a decent house. I am very proud of him. My younger son is 19 and has never worked a day in his life. He has no aspirations and did not apply to university. I've tried countless times to explain to him that he can't live with us forever and that he needs to get a job, but he lacks all motivation for it. When he was 18, I told him that I had enough and that if he wasn't out of the house by his 19th birthday, which was 6 months away, I would put all his stuff outside the house and lock him out. I hoped that would make him get a job, but he didn't. I locked him out on his birthday. I gave him 5,000 pounds, the same amount I gave to my eldest when he moved out, and told him that I warned him this would happen. It has been about a month and he hasn't made contact at all. For me, this wasn't just about the room, but also getting my son to survive on his own. The room dilemma was just a nail in the coffin. My wife thinks I may have been hard on him, but I told her that he has to learn how the real world works. Some people in my family think I'm the a-hole for kicking him out because he could still be grieving for his mother. Others say I'm not because I'm finally putting my foot down. My brother specifically said to me that I am the a-hole, and how could I do that to my own son? And then there's a couple edits. I wanted to say a couple things to clear some things. First, I'm not the greatest proofreader and okay, blah, 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 blah. And accidentally said that I didn't give my younger. No, I think he did. Anyway, the point is he gave both of them $5,000. The older son, which is now 27, that moved out, and the 19-year-old gave him $5,000 also. Along with like money that he saved up when he was like his birthdays or whatever. He's like, second, I also tried to get both of my kids therapy when their mom was terminally ill, and once she passed, my elder son agreed. The younger one refused to go after she passed. I tried to convince him it would be better for him if he went, but he continued to refuse. The offer for him to go to therapy has always been open since then, and even now I would pay for it if he chose to go. I admit kicking him out on his birthday was cruel and not the best way to go about things, but if I hadn't, I very much believe he would have just taken what I said for granted and continued living with us without looking for a job or for work or going to school. And he's like, the small box room is really, really, really small. You can't fit a standard kid's bed in it, let alone a full single adult. And he wanted to give the girls like a studying space. Dude, that's so bad.
This literally, like, these stories like make me like so upset and like sick. Like, this guy does not deserve to have children.
Like, dude, the guy turns 19. Probably he's out,
It's his birthday,
on his birthday. Okay, and where's he gonna go with all the stuff that you put out there?
He just made his kid homeless.
Straight up. Now, obviously, he can go get a hotel or something, but what's he gonna be able to carry? 3 bags?
And also for what? 3 nights?
Yeah, because I mean that shit's expensive as hell.
It is.
You give him $5,000, cool.
And
it could be
he's not gonna eat.
$200 a night.
He's not gonna eat
to sleep somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, where's he gonna go?
Yeah.
Go ask his. Like, I mean, I don't know how much stuff he had, but at least all your clothes. If it's all your clothes and your shoes, that's a bunch. That's a bunch of stuff.
Dude, it makes me so upset because I imagine him like carrying like birthday presents from friends or something back home. You know what I mean? Just like whatever, like little stuff. And then it's like, okay, here's all my clothes and my birthday presents that I just got in my hands right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Damn. I mean, obviously, one thing that I've learned from my siblings is that we all grew up in the same freaking house. And yes, it's the same house, but it's also a different house.
It's vastly different experiences. It's the same thing with me and my sister.
Yeah, like my sister, her first 4 years of her life, she's the first kid, right? So that's one experience. And then I come along, and then, for the next 6.5 years before my brother's born, now she's at 10.5 years old. So that's like kind of an evolving. It's evolving,
yeah.
But it's her experience that has been evolving. It's mine that's been evolving, and then it's my brother's that, like, when he's born, then my sister moves out, and then I move out, and then my sister and I both moved out when my brother was. I moved out when I was 18. Then I came back for a little bit, and then when I was 20, I left, and I never moved back. But when I was 20, my brother wasn't even 14. So my brother Eric, like, basically, I might have been 8th grade, or I don't know if it was 8th grade or freshman year. So basically, he lived at home by himself his entire high school. So like that's really different too. Yeah, I would go down like a bunch, like every other week. So I saw him a lot, but like that's a whole different experience. And then their mom passing away, well, obviously they're going to like grieve different. So him saying, oh, and if one kid's 27 and the other one's 19, so he's 8 years older. We don't know. There was no mention of when it happened.
But they have a 10-year-old daughter together, him and the new one.
Okay, so
it's like they happened when they were kids. But especially like, okay, like sure, of course the older one was like, I'll go to, like, not of course, right? Because
he was like 6.
Yeah. He can process that this has been damaging.
He was like 15.
Yeah.
So let's assume that they got married and 2 years later they had a daughter.
Sure.
Right? So that would be 12 years.
Sure.
So that means that the guy was 7. He was 7 when his mom died.
Dude,
and the other one was like 15. You know what I mean? 15, you can process that so much better.
Just like willingly be like, sure, I'll go to therapy. Yeah. It's like, no, you put your 7-year-old in therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't ask your 7-year-old, do you want to go to? I mean, there should be a conversation, right? But you don't be like, do you want to go to therapy? No, okay, you'll be fine.
Idiot.
No, you go here. We're gonna go talk to this lady for an hour once a week every day.
And even if he freaking met this lady immediately after his wife passed away, which would have been damaging to the kids. Then the oldest that puts him is at 9,
dude,
and the other guy's 17. Like, how are you treating them the same?
It's so insane because, like, obviously that's an insane twist of the story. But even regardless of that, who is kicking their 19-year-old child out? Like, especially like today, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, like, and also because it makes it a huge difference that this kid has never had a job, because then he's like, oh, like I'm trying to like set him up for the real world and all this BS that I hate terms like that, right? But it's like, okay, well then force him to get a job. then you force him to get a job. You don't kick him out. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know. Like, he knows that this kid has no money.
Yeah.
Just the $5,000 he gave him. Which,
Dude.
sure, $5,000 is $5,000. But $5,000 is nothing if you're homeless.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, it takes time to... Oh, so you got to... I mean, luckily... Or not luckily. Hopefully, he has friends that where he can go stay at while he looks to rent a little room or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I don't know.
$5,000 is nothing if you're homeless and jobless. That's like 2 months of survival, and then you have nothing.
And he's like, yeah, it's been a month or a month and a half. He hasn't contacted me.
Yeah, of course not. I would never talk to you again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long it would take.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't reach out. I think I wouldn't reach out at all.
I think I would take like me literally finding out that they're on their deathbed. Like I wouldn't, like, how, like, that is such a horrible... You made me homeless. You made me homeless. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You abandoned me.
I'm like, yeah, but like, I wouldn't take me to my deathbed.
Oh,
like,
man.
yeah, that sucks, but who knows how long it would take? It might be a year before I would be willing to talk to you. I don't know. I have no idea.
I have no idea either, but I feel like
I feel like I wouldn't reach out, because what am I reaching out for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm reaching out to someone that's like, that in my eyes is not there for me,
Mm-hmm.
is not gonna help me, is not backing me up, is like
and
there's
also
no
you
support
said a year,
there.
But what if in a year from then you're still homeless? Like, are you still not gonna have harbor that same feeling?
Well, yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
and if the guy wasn't able to, if he was like really depressed or something was going on, then
because that's how stuff happens. It's like, okay, well then you're super freaking depressed and sad and whatever, and now you're homeless and it's your birthday. And then you just take a drug, any drug, first one you find. You know what I mean? Like, you're creating a problem. This guy has nothing.
I just keep blowing air into the mic, like just like.
Is that not true?
So hardcore.
Is that not how stuff like that happens?
I mean,
like, in real life, that's how stuff like that happens.
I mean, yeah, that can happen.
That's like
sure.
a horrible sob story that I've heard on TED Talk once or twice.
It can happen. I just kind of think more like, all right, well, he probably went to his friends, got a friend, was forced to
and then his friend
get
has
job.
heroin.
Yeah. You're so stupid. Oh my gosh.
That last part was a joke, but like,
Yeah.
seriously, I feel like that's how stuff like that happens. Like I feel like that's a sob story that I've heard before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or very akin to. You know, like, I just.
That one was sad,
angry.
dude. That was super sad.
It makes me so angry. Okay, that one was crazy. But another banger story here. Ready?
Let's do it.
Am I the a-hole for abandoning my daughter on vacation? My wife and I have always dreamed of celebrating our 40th anniversary with a luxurious vacation. Just the two of us. Reveling in the romance of our early years. We had it all planned out for years now, and we were excited beyond words. Enter our adult daughter, Jane. Jane and her husband got wind of our plans and promptly invited themselves and their 2 children, 9 female and 5 male, along. I originally put my foot down and told them that this trip was just for us, which upset her some. But then my wife had a hard time saying no to Jane, as she is the youngest of our children and our only daughter, and she didn't want to hurt her feelings. So she reluctantly agreed to let them join. I wasn't thrilled about it at the time, but I wanted to make my family happy, and I knew my wife was also okay with the idea of a family trip, even though she was heartbroken that we wouldn't get our romantic trip. She went along with it. The place we were originally going was not child-friendly, so we changed course and decided on an all-inclusive family resort. We paid for the resort and our grandchildren's plane tickets. Jane and her husband only had to pay for their own airfare. Here's where things got complicated. As the vacation got closer, I started having a change of heart. I realized that our 40th anniversary was a once-in-a-lifetime milestone, and I wanted to honor that in a way that was true to our original plans. My wife and I might not be able to afford a trip like this again for quite some time, and it's something we always wanted to do. So without consulting anyone, I switched our tickets last minute to go to the romantic destination that my wife and I had originally planned for. I did not tell Jane or her husband. I didn't even tell my wife until the day before our flight left, which was a day before Jane's flight left for their vacation. It wasn't an easy decision, and I felt guilty about it, but I wanted our 40th anniversary to be special. To be a special, intimate celebration that we always hoped for. We called Jane after we landed and told her and she was extremely upset, to say the least. She seemed of the idea that we were going to look after our grandkids so she and her husband could have alone time, and now that I abandoned her, they would have to do it all themselves. I hung up on them when my son-in-law started to shout at my wife, and I enjoyed the rest of our trip. They came back the same day, but did not have... What? They came back the same day. We did, but have not answered any of our texts, and Jane seemed to be ignoring me. My wife told me that she vastly preferred our trip to the family trip that we would have taken, but it still doesn't like how Jane is mad at us and wants me to apologize. I'm not sure I want to after learning Jane and her husband were using us for free babysitting and a free trip, and I feel like I should just to keep the peace. Am I the a-hole for changing our trip destination last minute and leaving Jane and her family to fend for themselves?
So I thought that was a good story. I enjoyed that. I think they're all assholes.
Yes.
And I think they're all idiots.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
they're complete idiots.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna what I initially was gonna say was like not the
Okay,
not
good.
the
That's
a-hole.
what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah. But then I was like, oh wait a second, I forgot. The daughter's an idiot, and so is the husband. And like if they're for like basically forcing themselves onto this trip, like and he's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
And all, you know what, I'm also gonna say he is an idiot for what he did, but also the mom or the wife or whatever is also an idiot.
Yes.
Because okay,
They're all
don't
stupid.
let them go.
No.
Like people need to put their foot down and say, hey, we're doing an anniversary trip, we're going on we want to go to
Okay,
no,
I don't care.
I don't want to. We're gonna go by ourselves.
I don't care.
We're doing our own thing.
Not only that, I was so, because the consensus was not the a-hole, and I was so upset about that. But not only should they just not let them go, like be an adult. You know what I mean? Don't like these little like tricks or whatever. Not only did they let them go, they paid for their effing stuff.
Yeah. Well, for the kids. For the kids, right?
No. The flights and the resort.
No.
They paid for the resort.
Well, maybe the resort.
That's what I'm saying.
But it said
so the kids' flights.
Mm-hmm.
So not the parents'
okay.
The kids' flights and the entire resort.
What? But so one thing that's a little bit weird there. He's like, and we just wanted to do this because my wife and we won't be able to afford this for a long time again.
Well, you just paid for a whole damn extra vacation.
You paid for another vacation right now
for another family.
Family.
I thought that too.
You're a complete idiot.
Yeah. No, he sucks. And then the wife is like, I don't know, like they should just go, but like I don't really want to. What?
Just do what you want to do, people. Stop being idiots. Stop being.
So upset.
I'm mad right now.
It made me so upset.
I'm fuming right now.
Because everybody's like,
what are you talking about?
Like, not the a-hole. Like, you can do it. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do if you're not stupid.
So, yeah. And okay, so people might say, yeah, but he's not the a-hole because blah, 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 blah. No, you are. You are the a-hole for not being transparent, for not being honest, for not being transparent, for bailing on them like that.
Yeah.
Because, they don't need you. They can go over there. They can go themselves and fend for themselves and be okay and have a good time. That you don't need to be there. But that's an asshole thing to do.
Exactly. To show up to a vacation. To show up to a vacation where you thought you were not only invited, but welcome, because it's literally paid for by the other person.
Yeah, so now they're over there all freaking like moping around her, man.
And then they show up and they're like, hey, where are you guys? Obviously, they were a-holes
Yeah, we went
too.
somewhere else.
They're a-holes because they had different plans, right? Like to like abandon the kids with them or whatever. But it's like, hey, where are you guys? And it's like, oh, we're not going to be there.
Yeah, we went somewhere else.
I thought we were going to have a good little family trip. And it's like, oh, no, we didn't actually want you there.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
didn't you tell me that?
Exactly. Like you're an a-hole for doing that to your daughter, doing it that way. Just say it from the beginning.
Yeah, and then it sounds like they did say it like once or twice or something.
Not enough.
Yeah, which also the a-hole's a daughter for pushing though.
Yeah.
The daughter's an a-hole for pushing.
The a-hole's a daughter.
But so obviously she sucks for pushing. But then if they're like, okay, sure. And it's like, okay, cool. I wanted to go anyway.
But that's not what you really wanted.
Yeah.
So now you're the a-hole for freaking lying and saying that they can come and getting them all worked up. Like, yeah, we can go. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be exciting. We're gonna go with grandma and grandpa. Yeah, you're the a-hole because now you got them all excited and you didn't want them to go. And then you freaking, instead of just being honest and upfront, now you bailed on them in this weird ass way. Like, who the F does that? You know?
It's so weird.
Yeah, no, totally idiots, dude. Idiots. Like when you're that stupid, like, I hope that you guys, like, people keep bothering you and you don't have a good time. Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And your daughter is a complete jackass.
And it's like, I didn't want any problems or whatever, like, on the vacation. So that's why we said yes. And it's like, okay, first of all, you've created a whole new problem. And also, it's like, just turn your phone off. Just turn your phone off. Just don't even, like, what do you, like, put it on do not disturb. Like, you're with your wife anyways. Like, who do you need to be contacting on your 40th wedding anniversary vacation? Like, just, you won't have problems. Just don't look at them. they'll be there when you get back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's it. Because, like, it literally won't exist to you if you just, like, for those couple of days. Like, that's something that you can very easily put off.
Dude, idiots.
They suck.
Everyone sucks.
Yeah, everyone sucks. Because obviously, we didn't harp on this too much, but, like, obviously the daughters
The freeloading kids suck.
Yeah.
God, I'm just kidding.
the babies.
Yeah.
The 5 and 9-year-old.
Yeah. The I know we didn't talk about the daughter.
But because that one's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, she sucks for freaking forcing her way on there.
Yeah.
And then that's so funny because, like, I didn't know. I was like, I wonder if there's gonna be any mention of it. But I was thinking, like, do they think that they're gonna, we're gonna go and then my parents are gonna help us with the kids so we can finally have this isn't about you idiot. It's their 40th year anniversary. What are you talking about? Yeah. What are you talking about, dude?
That pissed me off so bad.
Like, they hijacked their vacation.
Yeah.
You know?
And then it's like, I thought you could just watch the kids for one night.
No, I'm not watching your kids.
I'm not watching the kids. At your kids.
Huh?
I'm not even looking at your kids. Like, get them away from me.
Yeah, I don't even know them.
Yeah.
They're not my grandkids.
Not for this next weekend.
I don't even know you.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Idiots.
They suck.
I like when the stories get me worked up.
Yeah.
It means they're good.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I
told you 2 bangers.
Yeah, I like that. What was the first? What was I always, dude? We always go through them, and, like, as soon as the episode ends, I already forget what the story.
Me too. No, me
too.
Oh,
the proposal.
Yeah. That's why sometimes I read the comments and it's like, oh, it'll be like from a couple episodes ago, and somebody's like, story number 1, like, you guys are crazy. And I'm like, I don't remember what that story was. Sure.
Yeah,
you tell me.
Yeah, I do my best to, like, kind of, like, remember. Like, for the most part, I can, like sometimes I've had to go back and, like, what story was, like, I don't even know what that was. It was like,
I don't even remember what I was
read. That was like like a month ago. I don't even know what you're talking about. And then I'll go back and I'll listen. I'm like, oh, that's that story. Okay, as long as I can if I can kind of remember a little bit, then I'll know what they're talking about. And then
dude, we'll film and we'll post like 2 days later. My mom will call me and be like, that story was crazy, and I'd be like, Mom, I have no idea.
Yeah, that wasn't live, Mom.
Yeah, and she's like, the one that you read or whatever. But it's 2 days ago. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't, dude.
And I'm like, I don't.
Literally, we'll hit stop recording, and we'll be like, that was a good episode, huh? That was pretty good.
What did we talk about?
And then we're like, what were the 4 stories? We straight up don't even know, dude.
But sometimes they're really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
All right, we got to wrap it up. Got things to do, place to go, people to see. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Peace.